Hi everyone, today we are going to be talking about those humdingers that have been brought to market during 2022. These are the products that I feel are either just bad or they're bad on my skin. So please do not be offended if I pick one of your ride or die everyday items. If you love it, that is amazing. Do let me know in the comments section what you love about the product, how you get the best out of it and how it wears on your skin. These are just my personal opinions. These are the products that I feel are the worst that have been on offer in 2022 so far. Let's get straight on with it. If you're new here, hi, my name's Gemma. I upload new videos on YouTube every single week and I would absolutely love it if you would come and join the Pampered Wolf Pack by clicking on that like button, the subscribe button and the notification bell. So some of these products may have had a mention or two on my channel before. You may have seen me apply them for the first time here. You may have heard me talk about them in my faves and fails videos, but some of them never been mentioned before. I've never talked about these. I've never shown them on camera. So a little few surprises here and there. Some of these products were going to feature in my July faves and fails video. I just don't have the strength to do 2 videos with failures in back to back. So my heart just cannot take it. I thought it would team all of the badness into this one video. So I'm just going to touch on this one really quickly. This is from Revolution and it's the eye injection under eye serum. This feels really nice underneath the eye. It has a doe foot applicator that is really chunky for application. It's not my ideal method of application for a serum underneath the eye, if I'm being completely honest. On paper, this looks like it's got some really nice ingredients in here. It's got squalane, glycerin, ceramides in here. However, when you look really closely, you notice that all the really nice ingredients, the squalane, the glycerin, the ceramides, are less than 1% of the formula, and the other 99% or over 99% is water and castor oil. If you are sensitive to castor oil, because castor oil can break you out in blemishes if you are spot prone, you need to dodge this with a barge pole. If you really like the feel of this on your skin, I highly recommend you save the money and just go out and buy some castor oil and smother it underneath your eyes. I wouldn't recommend you do that, by the way. Get a nice eye cream or a nice eye serum. This one, you can do better. Next product, and we're going to have quite a few split decisions on this, I think. I really don't like them. My mum really doesn't like them either. However, I do know that some of you really love these. One of my very good friends, Stephanie Marie, swears by these, absolutely adores them. I don't know why I don't get on with these. They just don't do anything for me. These are from Bobbi Brown and they are the Skin Corrector sticks. These are featured in a couple of videos and I didn't like them in either of those videos. It's not like my opinion has changed. It's been the same since day one. So these are color corrector sticks. I apply them underneath my eyes. They are extremely emollient, which is one of the reasons why I love them, but also one of the reasons why I really didn't get on with them, because these were quite shiny underneath the eyes. They didn't dry down, they didn't sink into the skin, so that's how they remained all day. At first, they did cover over and neutralize my under eye dark circles. But over time, as this wore on, it was like the pigment disappeared, but the moisturization remained. So again, really like it for the moisturizing qualities of this, but as a color corrector, it did nothing. These wear beautifully for around about an hour on me, and then these start to crease like a linen shirt. Just a crease city. I feel like I need to iron my under eyes every single time. You need to pat it out with your fingers, and I just can't be looking in a mirror every 5 minutes. And like I said, the pigmentation starts to disappear, so as the hours progress, I look more and more tired as the day goes on. I just cannot be doing with that. And to top it all off, these are really expensive for what they are. I like the moisturization, I like the hydrating qualities, but as a color corrector, this for me is a bust. Okay, we have to move on. This next product is the worst product that I've tested this year so far. I am hoping that it will be in the #1 spot for my ultimate fails of 2022 at the end of the year, because if it's not, I'm not sure my heart can take trying out anything that is as bad or even worse than this product. I don't have it to show you because I sent them back because they were that bad. I spat my dummy out and thought, no, I'm not even keeping this for the worst of the worst at the end of the year. I'm just returning them. They're awful. So I will show you a picture of the product up here because, like I said, sent all these back. They were just hideous, awful, just dreadful. These are the matte eyes to Mesmerise. I've spoken about these several times on my channel before about how bad they are. I've only ever had 2 people say that they really liked them. These are so stiff. It's like trying to apply clay or putty to your eyelids. It just doesn't work. If you apply them to the back of your hand and try and warm them to the skin to loosen them off a bit, they just dry down so quickly. They're just not workable on the eyelid. So yeah, I just think they are awful. Absolutely awful. I don't have a nice word to say about them other than Charlotte Tilbury have some great products and they have a great returns policy. I love a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury products, just not these. Moving on, I was really excited to try out the NIMYA range. NIMYA was brought out by Nikki Tutorials. I adore Nikki Tutorials. She is a wizard when it comes to makeup application. Just the stuff she can do with makeup, the alteration, the change is just super dramatic. Absolutely adore her. So I was really excited to get my hands on this because I just thought if it's from Nikki, this is going to be the best setting spray ever. This is the Set It, Forget It setting spray, and I doused myself in this in a try-on video and seriously regretted it. I looked like I'd just been in a swimming pool. It looked sweaty. I look a little greasy. What has happened to my makeup? It really did, and I was expecting slightly more of a matte edge to it or just a slight glow. This had so much glow I looked like I was just bathed in sweat. Not the look that I generally go for. I had to apply a lot of powder on the top of this to make it work for me. It was a great setting spray, as in it really did add to the longevity of my overall look, but it just didn't look pleasant. Semi-defeats the object. So I was really disappointed. If you're not really confident pushing down the button, you are going to get a spray that's a little bit more splatchy and splotchy and goes in globs on the face, which isn't really what you want from a setting spray. You want something in a really fine mist that is very even. If you push it down really quickly, however, really nice fine mist, and I am being very careful not to get any of this on my skin because I just do not want that. Not today. Really strong fragrance in this, which I know a lot of people take offense to. I am one of those people that don't really want to be spraying a fragrance directly on my face. And this is so heavily fragranced that to me is what you're doing. But like I said, it is a really good setting spray once it's on and you do get the hang of the whole pump spray mechanism. Should this be in this video? Yes, it should. I think it should come with a disclaimer on this, or at least it should say dewy setting spray on the label, because this sends you on another dimension of dewiness. This is like alien dewiness. I mean, other than that, I really like it. Moving on, this is from Maybelline and it's the Instant Anti-Age 4-in-1 Perfector Whipped Matte Makeup. I was a little bit confused when I picked this up because I wasn't quite sure what this was supposed to be. It says that it's whipped matte makeup. It does have a little bit of coverage. Is this a foundation? Is this a lightweight tint? Is it a tinted moisturizer? Is it a primer? I'm not quite sure, and it doesn't really say on the back. It says primer plus powder plus concealer plus BB cream. How are you actually supposed to use this? Now, I got this in the shade 00 Fair Light. white, which at the moment, because I've got fake tan on, is way too fair for me. But I didn't like this, and I didn't like it as soon as it went on my skin. Now, maybe I had no right to try this in the first place because I have really dry skin. So anything matte doesn't always react well with my skin. It tends to make my dryness look even more dry and my skin look a little more textured, shall we say. But this, because it was instant anti-age, I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. Even if it's just as a primer underneath my foundation. However, I absolutely despised this as soon as it went on the skin. It was just awful. It's got that horrible whipped consistency that really you can't spread very well. It doesn't spread out evenly. It goes in clumps in some places. It just doesn't look flattering. It sinks into every single fine line that I have and just draws attention to the fine lineness of my skin. As you can see over here, these lines weren't evident before I applied this product, and now just awful. And down here it's a bit patchy, it's just not even, it's just difficult. Not so long ago, myself and my mum did a fake tan video. We'd been trying so many different fake tans, and this came in the bottom spot for both of us and was so bad on our skins we vowed never to use it again. The only reason I've kept this is for this video, and probably for the end of year video as well. It was that bad. So this does not have a guide colour, which was a problem for both me and my mum. However, I've since learned that a lot of people don't like to have a guide colour in their fake tans because they like to apply it before bed and they don't like getting all the guide colour all over their sheets. I completely get where you're coming from in that aspect, because I applied some fake tan last night and it's all over my sheets. So I can see how that would be a positive for you. Why it was a negative for us is that it's very difficult to see where this is actually going on the skin, where you've done already, where you haven't done already. So this was a little bit streaky for us. Even when we used a mitt and got absolutely everywhere, the end result was very, very streaky and patchy. And yes, we exfoliated beforehand, moisturized the areas that we needed to moisturize, applied this the way that it said on the back of the pack, but still not a great result for us. Also, the end color that this went was bright tangerine orange. And I don't know about you, but that is what I try and avoid when it comes to a fake tan. I like one that looks as natural as physically possible. If it can have slight of a cooler, more neutral undertone, even better for me. But yeah, bright orange, it's not my thing. The one thing we did like about this was that it's got the signature Dove scent, which is really pleasant, but that's pretty much it. Let's talk about this product. This again is from Maybelline and it's the Tattoo Brow Lift Stick. I seriously do not see the point in this product at all. For me, this is just a bad product. Please correct me if you think that I'm wrong here. It has a dual end on this. It has a silicone brush on the end to brush through your brows and hold them in place once you've applied the other end of the product, which is really round and bulky. This is either clear, like this one is, or it has a colour on it so that you can fill in your brows and then use the other end to sculpt. Here's why I don't think this works. One, this doesn't stick my brows in place, so that's a huge fail straight away. Two, the end is so bulky that this is a really messy product. This is not at all accurate. So if you're wanting to fill in your brows, if you've got the coloured one, which I went and bought after reviewing this one because I thought I better. So super messy because of the end not being accurate at all. And then Again, it doesn't stick your brows in place. When you brush through your brows to try and hold them in place with this silicone brush, the silicone brush then removes a lot of the product that you've just applied. So I just don't think that this has been well thought out. There are products on the market that are 5 million times better than this that actually do the job that they're intended to do. This one just fails on every single level for me. Now, I know I've really only just spoken about this. I think this was in my June faves and fails in the fails category, but I wanted to put it in here because I think it deserves its spot. Now, this is from Beauty Pie. You all know I adore the bones of Beauty Pie. I love the concept. I love the fact that I'm getting supreme quality products for a fraction of the cost. I mean, it blows my mind, some of the products that I've had from Beauty Pie that are just amazing quality for the amount that I've actually had to pay. This was a huge disappointment for me on several levels. So Beauty Pie nail polish as a whole is excellent, but this is a limited edition range, I believe. It's the XJenna Lyons nail polish, so it is an exclusive and it's in the shade Neon Kiss. This says that it's super shiny. Neon Kiss is not super shiny. This is more of a satin matte finish, so it was a flop on me on that angle straight away. However, you know, you can add a little bit of shiny top coat over the top of this to create that shiny finish. So not a massive deal breaker, but the quality of this and the pigmentation of this was a real disappointment for me. And it was actually quite a shock because the Beauty Pie nail polishes as a whole really pigmented. 2 coats and you are away. 2 coats of this and you can still see my nail bed. So it was a definite 3-coater before I could apply a top coat over the top. And that to me is disappointing, especially as the Beauty Pie nail polishes have been increased in price recently. So they're now £10. I think they used to be around about the £4 mark when I first started buying them. But you know, everything's gone up. It's all relative. I get that. I'm not complaining that this cost £10. I'm complaining because you can get really good nail polishes for around about the £4, £5 mark. And this just didn't quite hit the mark for me. And I feel really bad saying that because it's like I'm speaking really poorly about my best friend. But it has to be said, this just, it wasn't good enough. It just wasn't good enough. Moving on to another expensive item. This is from DIOR. I actually bought 2 shades of this. This is the DIOR Backstage Concealer, and I'm severely underwhelmed by this to the point where I could have cried when I first tried it. I was so excited to get my hands on this because the DIOR Backstage foundation is one of my ride or die all-time favourites. It is the foundation that I pick up when I want my makeup to last from first thing in the morning all the way through to last thing at night. And it's also water resistant and it's sweat resistant and it's just absolutely out of this world fantastic. This, on the other hand, not so much for me. Now, I know a lot of people love this. It just, it didn't hit the mark on so many levels for me. So the coverage for me isn't there. This is a light to medium coverage at best. I couldn't get any more than that out of it. This also creased underneath my eyes like no tomorrow. And the pigmentation, again, didn't last underneath my eyes. Very similarly to the Bobbi Brown Corrector sticks. It disappeared throughout the day. This also got powdery throughout the day. It was as if I'd added powder underneath my eyes, even when I hadn't added powder underneath my eyes, so looked dry and bitty and chalky. I just do not understand how this is supposed to be similar to the DIOR Backstage. There are several amazing things about this. No alcohol. I don't think there's fragrance in this. Is there fragrance in this? Am I remembering it wrong? Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. That does smell like there's a fragrance in there. But I think there's no alcohol in this. So I was seriously excited. And then it all went to nothing. Because I've tried this so many times with different skincare underneath it, no skincare underneath it, powder underneath my eyes, no powder underneath my eyes, primer, no primer, just get the same thing every single time. I know I am the minority in this situation, but that is okay. This does not work for me. Not everything works for everybody. This was a major fail for me. Next disappointment is from Revolution Pro. This is the Blur Stick Tint, and I was really quite hopeful when I first bought this. I'd already tried the Revolution Pro Blur Stick, which is clear and is really quite revolutionary over texture, over enlarged pores, fills everything in a little bit like polyfiller on a wall before you paint it, just smooths everything out and allows you to apply your foundation on a super smooth canvas with no imperfections whatsoever. So really do like the Blur Stick. The Blur Stick tint, however, is slightly more problematic because of the tint. So firstly, I got the wrong shade. That is not the stick's fault, that is my fault. I bought the shade light, and as you can see, even with fake tan on my hand, this is way too fair. So whereas with the Blur Stick, you would apply it and then apply foundation over the top, this is foundation and the Blur Stick in one. And that is where it's slightly problematic, because this does fill my enlarged pores and creates a beautiful smooth canvas. But when you're doing that and not applying anything over the top to even out all of the coverage, you get a polka dot effect, because this does fill the pores and the bit that's filling the pores is more compacted rather than blended out. So the blended out bit is much lighter than the compacted bit, which has much punchier pigment, so you can see every individual pore. It's very, very smooth to the touch, but you can see every imperfection imaginable on the skin because of the tint. So, like I said, I love the Blur Stick. I think it definitely has a place in my makeup routine, but this, unless I'm going to be applying a foundation over the top of it, which defeats the object, it's no good for me. This also is really quite drying on my dry textured areas, and when I'm using the Blur Stick, I miss out those areas. I just apply it as I would a primer where I need it. This you have to apply all over because, you know, it's a tint as well. You want your skin to be the same colour all the way across. So yeah, I had a few issues. I think if you have perfect skin, if you don't have dry skin, you may get slightly better results from this. But if you have large pores and you're wanting to smooth everything out, you may get the same effect as me. Nobody wants polka dot pores. Next product. Now this kills me because I spent a fortune on this. This is from CHANTECAILLE and it is the anti-aging face tint. To my surprise, there is only one shade of this. When it came and I opened it up, I thought, have they sent me the wrong one? Have I ordered the wrong one? What is going on here? Let me show you the colour of this. So this is a bronzing tint. This is supposed to be suitable for all skin tones. So I was a little skeptical first applying it, but I applied it in rather a dimly lit room. It looked beautiful on my skin until I stepped into the light and found out that I'd turned into an Oompa Loompa. My mum was here at the time and I walked up to her and I was like, look at this, it's nice, isn't it? And she just looked at me as if to say, what have you got on your face? So, she said, I think you ought to go outside with your camera and take a picture of it in natural lighting. So I did. I was just... So I've watched a few reviews on this and everyone that's had major positive things to say has had more of a medium tanned skin tone. And nobody that I've seen has tried this out who has a fair skin like mine. And I think you'll find if you do have a fair skin like mine, you need to dodge this. It is not a bad product, but it should not be labelled that this is suitable for all skin types. Maybe I've dreamt that. Maybe it didn't actually say that in the first place. I will go and have a look at the bump on the website, but I was hopeful because some of my favourite Ride or Die products are from CHANTECAILLE. I love the brand, I love the ethics of the brand. It's all cruelty free, they give a lot of money away to the charities that support animal rescue and animal welfare. Just really, really wanted to like this. I thought this would just give me that glow from within look. A little bit bronze? No. I was orange. Orange. It's a real shame. And finally, let's talk about Hello Sunday. So Hello Sunday have some of my favourite sunscreens. They've got some great sunscreens on offer. This one I bought, it's called the Retouch one. I don't have enough spray SPFs. Obviously, if you apply your SPF in the morning, you apply your makeup over the top. If you're in the sun all day, you need to be reapplying your SPF. Great to have a spray-on SPF to touch up your SPF throughout the day to keep your skin protected. So, thought this is going to be amazing. Not so, unfortunately. So this is orange. This is like a yellowy orange. Let me see if I can actually show you that. Can you see that in the bottom? It's an orangey, yellowy liquid. So you cannot apply this over the top of makeup unless you want your makeup to look discoloured. It's also not a really fine mist, so you do get droplets of this all over the skin in clumps. This also melts my makeup as soon as it hits my face, which is not great. I'm not quite sure what this is good for. Because of the colour of this and because this melts my makeup as soon as it touches the skin, I wouldn't use this. The only thing this is good for is touching up your SPF if you're not wearing makeup. And if you're not wearing makeup, surely you're going to use an SPF that is a cream SPF or a lotion SPF, something that's going to give you better protection than just a spray, which is used for over makeup, but you can't use this over makeup because it melts the makeup and it's yellowy orange. It's a vicious circle. It's not fit for purpose, this. It does have great protection in here, but I wouldn't suggest that you use it not only over makeup, but also if you're wearing anything white. This just stains your clothes yellow as soon as the spray hits the skin. So yeah, not ideal in any way. So that's it for this video. They are the worst beauty products of 2022 so far, in my opinion. Before you all start coming for me in the comment section, do let me know what your worst products of 2022 are in the comments. Also, let me know if any of the products I've spoken about in this video are your ride or die products, how you get the best out of them, how they wear on your skin, what do you like about them. Do share your thoughts and experiences with the rest of the pack. It's not just my opinion that counts here, all of your opinions count as well. Really hope you've enjoyed this video and hope to see you all in the next one. Bye everyone.